I apologise for how this next video is going to look. I got it all set up on the seats in the car and didn't actually proportionate myself for the height, even though I'm really short, and didn't realise until post-production that my head is cut off in this clip. Please bear with me. I still get the information out, I still talk, I just look like an absolute goof because I've not got my head in the video. But you live and learn, it's early days in YouTube, and I now know to check how it looks. Stick around. Cheers. Alright, so in this video we are going to be installing seat covers into our Audi R8 build. Seat covers, yes, that's right, seat covers. I know they are a bit of a swear word because it's not a proper upholstery refabrication, it is just a temporary measure. However, this is with Seatskinz UK, who are to do with individual auto design. And basically they are seat covers to the same level of complete reupholstery, but you simply put them over the top. They are simply superb. From seeing them, they are superb. This isn't sponsored, I'm not an affiliation, but I'm very surprised myself and really impressed with them. So if you go on their website, you can basically do about 3 million customization options. You can pick every stitch colour, every material, every portion of the seat. So this is the original leather seat, and this one is our fully custom tailor-made seat covers. Obviously the benefit of this is if your seat's still perfectly acceptable with all its padding and it's not broken, as it were, you might not want to get it reupholstered. Or if you go for quite an outlandish design that the next owner might not like, then you can obviously do it with a seat cover. For instance, here we've got a crown because this is what our client opted for. However, if he ever goes to sell this vehicle, you can literally take this straight off and he's still got a perfectly acceptable leather cover underneath, or we could get another one made. So we've got Alcantara centre with white stitch, the R8 logo embossed in, all leather around the outside, Alcantara down the bottom, and obviously the white crown there. They are all completely snug fit. They're not sort of loose, they're not like an Amazon seat cover or anything like that. That's not to say they're cheap. These were the top ones, the exclusive range with the honeycomb, I believe it is, where it's the different shape, but it's really worth it, especially on a car like this. You could go really outlandish and have yellow stitch and red logos, etc., which you would love. The next owner, if you ever sell it, might not, but you just then pull it off. So yeah, going to take you through it, putting on this seat, and this seat will look like that, and then we'll get them popped back in the car. So if you do get some seat covers from Seatskinz, when you get it, all your covers will come in a neat bag. You'll also get a piece of paper. This refers you to a direct tutorial for your particular vehicle, so it will send you to their website and you get a passcode for your exact model of vehicle, and then it's like a video tutorial of how to install it. But it's very clever, it's fairly simple and straightforward how it works. So this back cover, you essentially slip it all the way down over, and then this will tuck through at the bottom, and they meet each other, and essentially they push over each other to create a clipped bond like that. So they clip together underneath and create that tight fit, and you'll do the same with the sides. Yeah, you've got a little zipped section. Now, tools I like to use, we want some pry tools to help push it in and get it around things, and also a pair of pin nose pliers, because the zips for the headliner, to obviously keep it for the headrest, the zip is actually on the inside reverse side, so that can be quite tricky to grab hold of once it's actually over the seat. So you'll want a pair of pin nose pliers just to be able to reach those. But essentially, grab your cover, make sure your seat's obviously got nothing jammed in it, which we are all good. Lift your headrest up, and we've got a piece of trim here that we're going to have to tuck under, but there's a nice hole for it there, and all we're going to do is simply pull it down over. Again, also these are all airbag certified with Seatskinz UK. They are all tried and tested, have the stitching in the correct places too. For the side curtain airbags, and the seat airbags to work, which again is worth noting if you are thinking about it, as seat covers online won't do that. As you can see, there's a bit of pulling involved to get it into place. So when it comes to getting this bit through, you got to get this piece of plastic here, this piece of plastic through that gap. It's always good. Start with one end, poke it right in through, and then essentially you're going to come around this reverse side, and it's going to be coming through. If the camera will adjust, it'll be coming through here. So once you get a corner through, you'll be able to pull it through, you pin those pliers and get it right through, and then you'll be able to pull it and get it to meet here. Well, I had to break away for a bit on that one because turns out I picked a really bad seat to show you on. So difference obviously between this driver seat, passenger seat has Isofix fixings down in here. Made it a really tight fit to get the piece of cover through that gap to pull it out through the back, but we've got it done. So this top piece is just simply sort of push fit, clips into itself all round, got the headrest out, and as you can see it just zips and then clips up into itself there. And then the headrest off, the headrest just simply got some fold around sections that work around the posts that stick to the opposite side like that. And then this is the same style clip that we've had on the back of the seat as well. So what you do here is this piece folds right over itself, and you've got to have quite a good considerable bit of length on this, but essentially that folds right over. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there's a channel here, and this piece of plastic has to clip into that. And there we have it. That is now in, snug, tight. As you can see, that is a bloody good glove fit. And then we can simply reinstall that back in the seat through the holes we've got. And there we have it. Back of the seat and headrest is complete. So we'll get on with the bottom bit. So bottom bit's much the same. You've got to get the back of the cover through the gap. There's some little cutouts here for the Isofix fixings to go through. Great they're there, but it is still an absolute swine to work it past them. And then we've got pretty much everything's elasticated, all except these two bits here, which we're going to use a needle, and I'll show you what and how we do with that. But that is then that piece. So let's get this bit through the gap. Okay, so for the next part of the lower piece of the seat cover is the only part that's sort of, I wouldn't say skilled, but it's not elasticated just around. So what you have to do is underneath in the centre, which is essentially around here, what you're going to be sat on, you've got two strands of cord either side. Now what you've got to do is you've got to feed those through this needle that they supply you with, it all comes in the kit, and then we're going to push that needle down through the current upholstery and foam, and it will come out the bottom, and that is going to pull the seat cover in there, and then obviously everything else will elasticate round and pull through. But this is the sort of the part that keeps that from sort of sagging upwards. This pulls the bit that you sit on down flush nicely. Right, so I've got my 2 strands through, so I'm going to pull the cover up, and we're going to come in about sort of 5 to 6 inches from the back of the seat, and we're going to well, we're not coming in the middle of the cushion or anything like that, we're going down through where the seam is, between your side bolster and your centerpiece, and we're simply pushing it. He says. The other one was very easy. There we go. Right. So make sure you got plenty pulled through, and then we lean the seat back. You can see the needles here. You're going to grab that, and then it's going to go tight once that's the top of the needle getting to the seam, and you're going to give it a good pull, and that has pulled the cord through. Right, we've got those 2 bits through now, so now what we can do is we'll continue with the rest of the fitment of the seat cover, which is essentially pretty much just fitting it where it wants to go. A little bit of tucking to do down this side under this trim. Same again this side. Pull backwards, you're not going to pull downwards because it's not going to pull it half as tight. Pull it that way. It's the way it wants to go. So it's nice fit around the front. Get it round. Now, what I did on the other one is with these 2, is lean the seat forward, pull it tight, and then clip it onto some of the metal work underneath, which is what we're going to be doing with these elastic bits. Right, so I've got the seat now leaning over, got it leaning on a mat, just to help try and keep it clean. Now obviously you got these were the 2 that we poked through with the needle. Pull those 2 as tight as you can, and you could tie them to the seat sort of chassis itself, or tie them to themselves like that. You just want to do something that keeps them as tight as possible, essentially. Okay, nice tension there. And then obviously we've got our elastic pieces. So with this, you're going to want to pull it. What I did is they supply you with a load of hooks. So these are for these ones here, and also I used them on the other one. So what you've got to do is, you can see a little gap in it. You simply feed the piece of elastic into the hook, and then simply pull it down. Find an appropriate hole or something on the seat, and that is going to give you a tension so that cover never comes off. Obviously you don't need to pull them too far, as long as they've got some tension on them, they're not loose like that, then they're going to be holding their own weight. And then with the elastic ones, all I did was feed it through there, feed it through the hook, put the hook quite a long way down the elastic. You don't want it right at the end because you've got all that loose play to take up to be able to keep it under tension. Just take up a bit of the slack, tie a knot in it, and then simply, same again, clip that somewhere nice and taut. And there we have it, 2 seat covers fully installed, nice and taut. Now there is a stage on our website as well about using a steamer or an iron with a microfiber cloth or something between the iron and the seat covers. I believe this might make them go a little bit tighter or clean them. There's not really much instruction with that. It's just one of their installation videos. But as you can see, they look great. They fit really well. Doesn't really need any altering, so we're going to get them in the car and see what they look like. The seats are back in the car, and I'm going to spin the camera around and show you just how great these look in the car and how OEM they really look, and they just really finish this interior off. Bear in mind this is a 2007 year car, so we're looking at what, 17 years old now, and it just makes the interior just look so much newer, especially with the steering wheel that we've done and the addition of the Starlight headlining. It's really unique and a lot cleaner, crisper, just newer feeling. So spin you around. Okay, so that's this video all wrapped up. You've seen how the seats were done, how they look back in the car. Let me know in the comments below if this is something you would do. How would you spec yours? Make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It'll really help me in the channel out. Look up here, you'll see our last video, which was for the Starlight headlining, part of this build. And be sure to stick around, see what other videos we drop. And yeah, I hope you like the content.